They would shout out commands when it's time for them to do things. They would shout out left. They would shout out right. They would shout out jump. And the blind skills will obey the commands. That's what our Christian life should be like in this life. We don't know what direction to take, but God does. And so God tells us to go left. He expects us to go left. He tells us to go right. He expects us to go right. He tells us to jump. He expects us to jump. Since we don't know what our future holds and where we're going, we got to always be available to hear the instructions from God.
Hallelujah.
That's what trust is all about. Trust is trusting when I don't know how it's going to happen. But I don't know how he's going to do it. I'm going to trust him that he knows better than I do. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. But God does it, and we need to learn a Bible lesson. We need to learn to obey the word of God. And understand that God is the only one who actually can see into our future, who knows our future, who knows the end of our future. So it will behoove us to listen to the voice of God concerning our lives. Then he said something else. He said, don't be afraid of my detours. If your life takes an abrupt turn that leads you away from your mountain, it's not because God doesn't want to turn you into a great climber. It could be that maybe he just wants to show you an easier way to get there.
Come on.
We make our lives so difficult sometimes by the decisions that we make. Some things, when you choose to go against God, then you're making life difficult for you. So you got to understand, God has already mapped out our life from the very beginning. Before you even got here, God already had your life already orchestrated, already out. He had already had it laid out. And God said, if they follow the blueprint, if they follow what I have set before them, that they're going to experience life and they're going to spend the abundant life. But when we decide to do things our own, when God tells us to go left, and we decide to go right because right looks better,
Yes, Lord.
then we got to deal with the consequences when we turn right. Because maybe God's telling you to go left because God sees some potholes going right. But you see today there's no traffic going right, so you would rather go right because it looks congested going left. And so you decide that I go right, and when you get there, you find yourself being involved in potholes that it just wreck your car. That tore your car up. Not because all of the potholes that were going right when the detour sign said go left. So you got to understand that a lot of times God will not allow you to go over your mountain or go through your mountain. God might say, hey, I got an easier way for you to get there.
Hallelujah.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. You know that sometimes for the Israelites, that detour was the Red Sea. It didn't make any sense to them because they were focused on the natural properties of water. It hadn't been more than a few days from their departure from Egypt, and already they have forgotten about the supernatural power of God. Isn't it amazing that after God has delivered you from one thing, that when another crisis comes, you forget what God has already done for you? And you begin to start doubting God all over again, and God just said, it wasn't that long, I just brought you out of this. It wasn't that long, I just healed you of cancer. It wasn't that long, I just healed you from a heart attack. It wasn't that long, I just got you out of bankruptcy. It wasn't that long that I helped you in your foreclosure. It wasn't long ago that I helped you, but yet you done come through another crisis in your life and you done forgot all about what I've done previously.
Jesus.
Help us, Lord Jesus.
So we begin to doubt. 400 years, the Israelites was in bondage. They've been crying for 400 years. And God raised up a man to bring them out of bondage. It wasn't that long, Brother Everybody. One day, it was just a couple of days they was out, and they forgot about the great triumph that God had just did through Moses to bring them out of captivity. And that's amazing to me people of God, that God, you've been praying that God bring you out of something. And God brings you out of something. What would make you think that God would bring you out of something to take you someplace and allow you to die?
My God.
Because they said, Sister Tim, they said, told them, we should have stayed here. If we're going to die, we should have stayed here. Why did you take us out of our comfort zone and allow us where we were being oppressed? Why would you bring us out of there, take us to a river, and allow us to die? It's amazing that's how church folks think. That after God has delivered you from one thing, we ain't got enough faith and enough trust in God that if God brought me out of this, God will now allow me to go someplace where I'm going to lose my life.
Jesus.
Now look at this. Here they get to the Red Sea, and now they begin to have questions about the same God who just delivered them a couple of days ago.
My God.
I've learned this, Sister Bertha. I don't care what God does, folks just ain't satisfied.
That's it. That's it.
He'll pay your bills. He'll pay your bills off this month, and then you got the audacity to question who God really is. God, you said that you're going to give me the desires of my heart. You said you're going to take care of me. Didn't he just take care of you last month? If the same God did it last month, don't you know that the same God will do it this month if you just trust him? That's all you got to do is trust him. Now watch this. So, they've already forgotten about the supernatural power of God. Now, that sometimes frustrates me about Christians. Watch this. We go through trials after trials, experiencing victory after victory at the hand of God, and yet we become brain dead. Every time we are confronted with another challenge. We become brain dead every time that we confronted with another challenge. It's like we just have spiritual Alzheimer's.
Jesus.
God plan is like this. If you want to experience the peace that surpasses all understanding, you got to learn to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. That is the plan of God. Because it was your way of thinking that got you here in the first place. Why would you rely on your thinking? Because it was it that got you there.
Yes.
Why would you lean to your understanding? Because it was your understanding that got you in the mess that you in. If you want to be free, you got to lean not to your own understanding, but you got to trust God and trust what his word says. Watch this. Sure, there will be some unexpected detours in your life. Sure, you will stumble sometime, even when God takes you down an easy path, because you don't always watch where you're going. That's even in the natural. We stumble sometimes because we don't always watch where we're going. I done missed that step out there outside, I don't know how many times, because I ain't paying attention to that step. And we stumble a lot of times in life. Why? Because we're not watching. We ain't paying attention to what's going on with us. That's what we call life. And even in our Christian experience, we find ourselves stumbling in life. Why? Because we're not watching where we go. We're so fascinated with everything that's going on around us and not paying attention to where we're going. So, we have to understand that we're not watching where we're going. But if you belong to the Lord, he will help you get back on your feet because God got your back. Now watch this. And family, look what it says. God says, keep your eyes on me. We get all discombobulated when we start to trust our own strength because we know our own limitations. We know how frail we are, how fearful we are, how imperfect and inadequate we are. We heard this story once before. We're like this young American Indian boy who went through the greatest challenge of his life at the age of 19. After learning to hunt, scout, and fish, he was put to one final test. he was placed in a dense forest to spend the entire night all by himself. Until that day, he had never been away from the security of his family and the tribe. But on this night, he was blindfolded and taken several miles away. And when he took off the blindfold, he was in the middle of a thick forest and he was terrified. It was the biggest night, the longest night of his life. But when dawn broke and the first ray of sunlight entered the interior of the forest, the boy looked around and saw flowers, he saw trees, and in the outline of the path, and he saw something else. He saw the figure of a man standing just a few feet away, all with a bow and an arrow. It was his father. His father had been with him all night long. He was in darkness.
Yes, yes.
He was in a place he knew nothing.
Yes.
Surrounded with darkness. And he was scared.
Yeah.
But when daylight came,
Help us, help us.
the first sign of daybreak, he saw things that he was comfortable with.
Yeah.
He saw flowers, he saw trees, he saw plants. But then he saw something else that was standing not far from him. When look at him, he saw this figure of a man, and he realized, Mother Taylor, that it was his daddy. And the news was that Dad had been there all night long.
Oh, my God, my God. Yes.
What are you saying, Bishop? What I'm saying is you need to understand that there are sometimes that we as people of God, because of the decisions that we make, we find ourselves in complete darkness.
Yeah, yeah.
We find ourselves in a place where we don't understand, we're not familiarized with what's around us or anything. But we need to understand that God made a promise to you a long time ago. He said, I'll never leave you, nor will I forsake you. So you can be in the deepest valley, and God said, I'll be there. You can be at the top mountain, the highest mountain, and God said, I will be there. You can be in the back alley. You can be down along the street, and God said, I will be there. Why? Because God made a promise to you that as long as you true to me, I got your back. I got your back. You ain't got to worry about. I'm not just going to be with you during the good times. But God said, even in those difficult times, when you find yourself feeling like you're isolated from me, God said, I got your back. God said, I got your back. He was in the forest. He was in the forest, Sister Bertha. He was in the forest, in the jungle, a whole lot of predators out there, a whole lot of things out there that were trying to attack you. But what he didn't know is that Daddy had his eyes on the whole night long. And you ain't got to worry about what you go through in life. You might not be able to see, you might not be able to see God, but rest assured that God got your back. And God is going to be there with you every step of the way.
Hallelujah.
Look at this, look at this. Look at this. God knows our limitation. He knows our weaknesses. He even knows our fears. And he is with us through our darkest nights.
Yes, he is.
Armed with his sovereign power, he never more than a prayer away.
All right. Glory.
God is just a call away. He's just a call away. Look at this, look at this. Have you ever considered how many times the Lord's angels may have had to take charge of you? Lest you dash your foot against a stone? Have you ever wondered how many times that God's angel has been protecting you? Have you ever wondered how many times that the reason why that you got out some stuff that should have destroyed you because the angel of the Lord was with you?
Yes.
Have you thought about the many times where you know you should have had an accident? You know that you have lost focus. You know you were down texting. You know you were down, you were with the periscoping and all this other stuff that you're doing while you're driving there. You should have been in an accident, but the angel of the Lord angel of the Lord was with you. Yeah, you got to understand. The angel of the Lord was there when you told your first lie.
Oh, my God, my God.
Well,
For some of you, he's still with you, you're still lying.
My God, my God.
Yeah, you got to understand the angel of the Lord was with you when you took your first drink.
My God.
He was there when you broke your marriage vow. He was there when you went where you had no business going. He was there when men plotted and conspired against you. He's always there for those who belong to him.
Glory to your name.
There were many players on the stage at Gethsemane. You remember the scene? There was Judas, his betrayer. There was Peter and his sword. There were the soldiers and their weapons. And though they were all a crucial part of that stage in Jesus' earthly life, Jesus and the soldiers in his earthly life, they were not instrumental. Watch this. That whole encounter was not between Jesus and the soldiers. The whole encounter was between God and Satan.
Ah, my God, my God. Help us. Help us.
That whole scene had nothing to do with nobody else but God and Satan. Because Jesus knew his purpose. But flesh rose up. And Jesus had to tell flesh, not my will. But thy will. Because if Jesus would have did what the flesh wanted, then the enemy would have gotten the victory.
Yes.
Then God would not have the bragging power that he had if Jesus would get into his flesh. But because Jesus said, not my will, but thy will, then heaven got the victory over the enemy. And because when Jesus decided to deny self, and he died, he hung on a cross, and he went down, he went in the grave, the Bible said it didn't stop there. Because Jesus got up out of the grave, went down to hell, shook hell's foundation, got the keys to both death, hell, and the grave, and rose again and said, now I got all power in heaven and in earth. You got to understand the story that's going on in your life. The battle has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with God's confidence in you that you're going to do exactly what he tells you to do. That's why God has no problem having your back, because God knows that I'm bragging on you. I want you to succeed. I want you to be victorious. I want you to win. That's why he has no problem having your back. Because he wants to prove to the enemy once again that you have lost again this time. Can I go ahead and tell y'all already that God has already told the enemy already that he can't deal with you? That he can't trap you, he can't deal with you, he's about to be told. God has already done it. He has already spoken. You just got to live up to what he has already spoken. Because it's already been taking place. You just got to live up to it.
Yes, Lord.
God has already bragged on you. It's no least, it don't make no sense for you to cause God to have to rescind what he's already been bragging about. But let me tell you how God operates. God looks in the future. God has already seen how you're going to come out of it. He's already seen your end result. So God has no problem bragging to the enemy concerning your life, because God already knows what the end is going to be. Now watch this. And I'm getting ready to close. Watch this. When God says he would keep you, when God said he would keep you safe, he means it.
Yes.
Hell will have to get through him to get to you.
Help us. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Like the Israelites, I'm saying that again. Hell will have to get through him, meaning God, to get to you.
thank you, God.
Now you know that's protection.
Yes.
That's just like you got the Secret Service around you.
Yes.
In order for them to get to President Obama, they got to go through Secret Service. And God is simply saying that hell got to come through me.
Thank you, God.
You got to watch this. God knows the blueprint to hell because he's the one who, oh, y'all y'all get all the way home, you get all the way home. You get it right home. That's why hell has no power over you. Because if God has your back and God was the one who created hell, why hell don't have a chance? They don't even have a chance. And anything in hell don't have a chance to get you out. Because God is the one who created it. Just like the Israelites, your story may not be pretty. I mean, many of us can simply testify that if it had not been for the Lord on our side, your story might not be pretty in your story, but I want to tell you that your story can have a great ending. You got something better than God's angel to watch your back. You got Jesus. Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 4 says, he was made so much better than the angels, as he has by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. His name is bread of life. Why? Because he feeds you when you're hungry. His name is bright and morning star. Because he leads you through darkness. His name is living waters. Because he quenched your thirsting spirit. His name is Prince of Peace. Because he will calm your raging storm. You may feel like you are lost in darkness, but God got your back. You may feel like the enemy is ready to pounce on you, but can I tell you that God got your back? You may feel like the world has betrayed you, but I want to tell somebody this morning that God got your back. Don't worry what's going on in your life. Don't worry what's happening on your job. Don't worry what's going on in your family. Don't worry about what's happening in your neighborhood. Rest assured that God has got your back. They can cause as much hell they want to on your job, but rest assured when you're covered, you just like Allstate. You're in a good hands. Mighty God. So don't you worry. Don't you fret. Don't worry about what folks may say or do. Why? Because God has your back. And when Jesus said he would get you home, God told the Israelites, I'm taking you out of bondage into your promise. But you got to understand that from bondage to promise, there's always some obstacles and detours. There's always something happening from what you're coming out of to where you're going to. For some people, it ain't an easy road. That road is going to be met with some potholes and some difficulties. But when God, when Jesus said that he would get you home, you rest assured, I don't care what happened. If he said it, he's going to make it happen. He's going to get you home. From bondage to promise. Here it is that the children of Israel got right there to they could almost see the promised land. But the only thing was standing in their way was the Red Sea. And the Red Sea before them and the enemies behind them. But if God tells you that he got a promise for you, I don't care come high wind or water. If God said, God is going to bring it to pass. And Jesus said, I'm going to